Hello, Ford Video Guy here at checking out the Bronco here, and yes, another install video. So I actually just got done. This is actually the same day that I just got the front tow hooks installed, the rough country ones. Got another rough country part here. Again, don't forget, Law MacArthur is a rough country dealer, and that's where I got them from. So thanks to the guys there for hooking me up. Actually, I got on their website just to get LED lights put on the Bronco, and ended up buying a couple other things I didn't plan on from there because I just thought, oh, there's all kinds of stuff here. So that's the tow hooks I just installed were not a plan originally until I saw them on their website. So we're gonna install these. Actually, installing these, that's going to be the easy part. It's the wiring that I'm a little concerned. I'm not an electrician by any means, and I want to wire those to the auxiliary switch, not to a little button underneath on the dash. I don't want to do that. I got the aux switches for a reason. This is a reason. So we're going to add these. So we're going to install these. So let me turn this camera around. These lights will install right up here where there's an accessory. It says, even has a little line. It says accessory. So we're going to unbolt that and install these there. Again, installing these ought to be very easy to do. Not difficult. So first thing we're going to do, first step, is to take this bracket. Can you see that? Take the bracket. There is a torque screw there, 25. We'll take those off of the bracket so we can install it, and then we'll keep going there. All right, so you're actually going to see here in a little bit where I went ahead and did everything before doing the wiring. You definitely want to run that wire first because you got to pull this off to get back behind there, as you can see there. So make sure you get your wiring in. Undo both of these bolts. You'll need this one out anyway, but you'll want to run that down through there before you get to hooking everything else. Otherwise, you're going to have to do what I did, and after I already mounted those, you can see over there, having to take it all off and redo it. So this is where Tim 101, I always, of course, they didn't actually talk about the wiring in the instructions, which would have been nice, yeah, Tim always has to do things twice whenever he does anything with home improvement, and same thing happened here on these. So make sure you run that wiring first before you go on to the next thing you're going to see. So just so you know, okay, so once you take these bolts off, now you don't have to take that one off, but take this inner one out. If you get under there with a screwdriver or something, it pops out, and you can see these clips actually come out up here in the front. So that way you got a good access, right, to go ahead and put that wire down in and have it run. Get a good focus in here. Have that wire come in and run through here. So let me show you. Just kind of stick it in there. Right, and then it can run down through there. Right, so we're going to stick that down in there. And actually, sorry about the camera, shoddy camera work there. I think on the other one, what I did was I went in through here with the plug, like this. And had the plug kind of go straight down in. And then I ran the wire around. So I didn't pull it up as far on the other one as I am with this one here. But if you get it in there, then you can run the wire back to the back and have it come out right over here. So let me get that on there, because I'm right now the LED is kind of dangling. So let me get that in there and I'll show you. So I took that bigger plug through there and just kind of let the wire go around the antenna right here. And then, as you can see, I kind of want to show you because I had to play around with it to get it, but I have it coming out right through here. So as you can see, right through there, which is where this is going to come out. So I want to run that through there, and that's about, you know, it's about as much. Once you clamp it down, you can actually get some give. So then at this point, once you kind of have that position, then go ahead and you know, pop your hood, make sure that you can get to your plug, and then go ahead and just push everything back down into place. You're going to see it all just pop back into place. You can kind of see it and hear it. It'll all pop back into place. So just push everything back into place and then screw that down. All right, so this is a little confusing because it does say, you gotta make sure you get the words right. It says stock hardware. So I took the bolt out that this came with, put the spacer in they gave, and then we're gonna put the bracket and use the original screw that we had from the Bronco in there. So we're gonna place that in there and then place that on, and I'm gonna use 2 hands for this part. so we installed that. So there we go, got that screw in there. And angle wise, I mean, you kind of want to get that figured out right now, because once you get this in, you won't really be able to get to that screw very easily. So I kind of went along with the line, you can see from the Bronco, that I kind of used that angle, but I do want to kind of, I don't want it to go straight down. I want to kind of get this angle over here. So I'm just trying to get that angle of what you think is right for that bracket, and then we'll go ahead and mount on the lights now. All right, one down, got that bolted in. Pretty easy to do. Just unscrew, again, unscrew that bolt and screw the other one in. So now we're just gonna go over and do it to the other side. Like I said, pretty simple. So we're gonna unscrew these here. They're a T25 from the side. We're gonna take this bracket off. We'll take this screw off. We won't need that screw. And then we'll unscrew this one, put the spacer in and put it back. We'll go through the steps again on this one. All right, so to show you what we've done. So took the bracket off of the LED light. You can see it there. There's the screws and the washers laying there. It's facing the direction I need it to go. I also took the screw off that it came with it, and then also loosened this. It's pretty much done. So we're going to take that out, right? Put that down here. We're going to put the spacer in. Let me grab it out of my pocket if I can find it. So get the spacer out here. There we go. There it is. Get the spacer, put that down in that slot there, and then we're going to take this there, and then just like last time, we're going to screw in this bolt right here and get that tightened down. Okay, we're getting a little low on light, which is kind of funny really when we're talking about putting lights in. Anyway, here's the wiring. So I've watched a few videos myself, and you can probably watch those and get a little more information from this. But basically, there's two wires. They're going to go to the LED lights. So those are coming up, and they're coming to this relay here. And then coming out of that is the switch. So this longer one goes to this switch. There's a connector. I unhooked that connector. I'm not going to use that switch. I'm going to try to switch into the auxiliary switch. The other was, and I went ahead and cut it off. You can see I cut that off, the power. So basically the auxiliary switch is going to be my source of power. So I added this little connector. That way, if I want to switch from auxiliary 1 or 2, I can do that. Auxiliary 1 has the most power. I might reserve that for anything else I might add. And then I might hook into the auxiliary 2, which I do have a diagram that says, I'll get the right color, but I'll connect it to that wire, and I'll put the same connector on that wire. And then this black is going to go and hook in to a ground on the back wall of that, and then I'm going to connect this to the back wall as well. And for right now, I'm going to leave this connector on there. Some of the instructions I've said is that, just cut that off, you don't need it, but because of how that's all going to this relay, I think I'm going to leave it just in case, and we're going to see what happens. Again, I'm not an electrician, and never claimed to be. So I'm going to use this green here. So I made this connector, and I'm going to connect those in, and then I'll hook in the wires in a second. But I'm going to take this bolt off here, and I don't know if I should use that bolt. I think this bolt will probably work for the relay. So connect that relay onto there right here, so it's nice and close for the ground and everything, so that the ground can reach over to the, I just will connect it to the battery, I think, to the bolt on the battery, and connect that relay there, and it's close for this red to connect into that, and then connect the negative over, and then I should be able to connect those up and see if it works. So let's try it. All right, now it is dark, and the question at hand is if this is going to work. So I haven't plugged in the negative yet. Wired the relay over here. I don't even know if I can't even see any of this. Relay over here, and then the ground to the battery, and connected the positive to the green wire. Green, and I think it's I don't know what color it is, but it should be switch 2. And hook this up. We should be good to go. Let's find out. Well, I think I got it working. So it is working, but it didn't at first. So I still have to take care of all the wires. Don't talk to me about that. But so the switch, because of that relay, I didn't wire straight in. The switch has to be here, turned on. So, so there we go. So I don't really like that, but it is a workaround, because then I could just position this underneath there. But why not just have it inside plugged in? So I don't know. So the question is, videos I've watched, I might shut the engine off. The videos I've watched didn't have a relay, and these wires connected right in, and it was the positive coming out, and you just wired that in, and you didn't have to worry about that switch. The switch was completely gone. So my question is if I need to go up into here and get rid of the relay and wire those straight in, which I can. So that's the next switch. Not gonna do it tonight. In fact, I might not even bundle up the wires tonight. But what I think I do want to do is get rid of this relay and connect in all those in together into the red and the black. So anyway, but to be continued on this, we'll have a second, well, actually be in one video, but we'll see about doing that and wiring that in. But at least I got it working for right now if I need to. But might be something to come back and revisit that. But there we go. They are on. And I'll get you, before I edit this video, I'll get a picture of what they look like. And maybe more daytime. Alright folks, so I wanted to, I didn't like the wiring setup that we did. So we took all the wiring off. And I did this last night and I didn't film any of it. I don't know why. But I took the two ends that plug in, there they are, to the lights themselves. And of course I actually measured, because I'm like, you know what, if I have this opportunity, I'm going to go ahead and cut. I have to cut these anyway. Let me cut them to the length. So I measured that back wall from that plug over there in the corner clear over to that wall, knowing it's about 60 inches, and I measured it, I think it's like 65. Anyway, so I went ahead and cut those wires, the red and the black, as you can see here. And then the other one I didn't measure, but I'm like, okay, it's gonna stay in the corner anyway, I don't need that much, but that should be plenty to go from that little plug right there just right down there. So anyway, so basically I have those two, and I have them, you can see, connected, the reds, to my power. So I went in to that relay and I cut up, and I cut the red as long as it was, which is that long. I still had the connector that I had before, so I just cut it off there. And the black, I did the same thing. So basically I should just be able to plug that black right over here, which I can connect it to that bolt back there in the back if I want, or I can just go to the battery. I think I'm just going to connect to that bolt right there on the battery, because it worked last time. So I'm going to unhook the battery first before I do that, of course. And then the red, all I have to do is put that connector right back into the connector that I had set up, and then hook the two lights in, and we should be good to go for lighting. Just use an auxiliary switch without having to have the light or the relay switch in. So see how it goes. All right, it's all connected. I have my ground connected over there, coming around, and the red connected in there, and then you can see, so there they come together there. I have that one going to one light, the short light. See, I knew I'd have plenty of extra, and the other one's connected clear across. We'll go ahead and tie this down with some of those ties onto the back wall, and I'll double it over and do it here as well as the black. I'll get that all tied down and such here in just a little bit. Let's test it out and see how it does. We'll just take one light cover off right now. Okay, and it should be switch 2. Gotta have it turned on though. Switch 2 is lighting up there. I can already tell we have light here. Hooray! I did it. Sweet. Can't believe I did it. Okay. Anyway, so there you go. So it all worked out. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off. And again, I switched it to 2 just in case I ever wanted to put a winch on the front, I'll connect that to one. I won't ever do a big light bar on the top. I'm just not a huge fan of that. Nothing against anybody else that wants to, especially if you're gonna offer it a lot at night. I'm sure you would really need it, but I don't plan to. You know, plan my trips so that if I need some light in the evening, I have them. To be honest, I'm probably just switching up the lights for look more than anything, but you know, if I'm off, you know, needing to in the evening as it gets dark, I have those lights. And so anyway, so there you go, have those all connected in, working just fine. As I say, you know, if I can do it, anybody can. I'm not gonna show you this part, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use these I got these ties at the hardware store, you know, zip ties. That's what I was looking for the name. Zip ties. We'll zip tie those across and keep these together here. You know, we'll use these holes and such that are on here. We'll zip tie those down kind of like they did with this wire. We'll go across and zip tie it wherever I can and get that up and tight against there so it's not in the way. And again, with this black one here as well. And then that'll be it. So I won't record that part, but there you go. Wanted to, now this is actually the Tuesday morning after I installed these. I installed the lights originally. I went to hardware store Monday night to get everything I needed to kind of splice that off and get some connectors. I didn't have any of the connectors, but there you go. Anyway, so there we have it. So all hooked up and pretty excited about it. So another job in the books.